Somebody told me the answer to that. That's sweet. Nice, yeah. Okay. Wow. You see three of us, right? It's three. Hi there.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
It's still coming in as Odyssey.
I know.
Do you want me to change it or leave it like that?
It's up to you. I mean, you could change it.
I
Send in. I mean, you guys, I don't know how many people are going to be here. You guys already know me.
Right, but we record all this. Be good if we have the right.
SUNMIN.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, we're gonna be able to start. It may just be the three of us. Well, plus some. Oh, there you go. Okay. Here though. Are you both doing it? Well, kind of same. I know. Well, you heard the little stress. I was a little bit, but they kept going. Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay, so we'll start in about 1 minute. Candace get settled. Think, oh, what? Okay, settled ish. All right, so I'm going to call this meeting of UNNC's executive committee to order. I am Laura Myers, I'm president of UNNC. Hello, I'm Hunter Reese. I'm secretary and communications director. Candace Jackson, treasurer for UNNC. And Michael, our vice president, will not be present. And if Chris, the only way Chris could be present, she can be, will be on Zoom. She broke or somehow blew out. Oh, wow. Yes. She fell. She was trying to protect the safety of the coffee maker. We were trying to get over me. So I have this feeling and finally got to the doctor. They gave a real fun issue. Traction. She was calling me kind of every few hours 4 days ago. Okay, so on tonight's agenda, I'm sharing the agenda. We're not really going to do a roll call, just introduce themselves. But on our agenda, we have general public comments and announcements, and then a discussion about. There's a little update, but a discussion about restreaming UNNC's website and other digital communications for compliance with, I'm just going to say, ADA standards, disability standards. We will definitely have an updated discussion when that happens. We're going to talk about a preliminary draft budget for next year. We're not actually forwarded to the board. This is our preliminary discussion. We'll do a more complete discussion in May. And we do have a funding request from the Los Angeles Korean Festival Foundation. I don't know if you know we'll be here. I didn't her, but we can still discuss the general concept of it and whether we can do it. Then we have our usual executive committee business stuff. And we don't have any letters to approve because I sent y'all a letter to approve and put that, but it was due today. So yeah.
Yeah,
Oops,
it's fine.
Approve agenda items for the May meeting, and if there's any old business or new business, I did put under president's report. So we did report something about petition for.
Oh, yeah.
So that really came from you, but where would I put that? Okay, so that is the agenda. Are there any general public comments on any announcements on anything not on this agenda? Anyone else wishes to make?
Can I just say the audio is really not good? You're very halting.
I think
I don't know.
it's fair.
Oh, I will look and see what the settings are, and we'll turn off this noise. in The room, and also it's down,
Does that make it any better?
And
Without the fan on?
and or does
Oh,
this
much
make it any better now?
Better.
Yeah.
Much better. Thank you.
Much better. Great.
Well, it was both low and the thing was off, so here we go. Okay, so aside from that, are there any general public comments?
No.
No, here, I've got one to share. I have to open it. Sorry, talk to myself to walk myself through these things. Okay, so UNNC is a primary sponsor, not the only one, for Fire Service Day at Station 26, which is the station on Western, south of Washington and before the freeway. Although the event is going to be on the back side, so in Western Heights, Manhattan Place, between 20th and 21st. So that's a Fire Service Day, 2026, at Station 26, Saturday, May 9th from noon to 3. Thank you to Hunter for no notice at all. And there will be, if you've ever been to a Fire Service Day, lots of kids, they like to look at the fires equipment, they get to wear hats, they get little badges, it's a fun thing. The firemen cook, firefighters cook. So it's not, there's no food brought in, they actually I don't know what they're making, but probably hamburgers, whatever. Not pancakes at that hour. And it's going to be theoretically a fairly large event, so we will need to do our setup starting really about 10 o'clock is what Grace said yesterday, even though the event doesn't start till noon. But there's going to be a lot of setup. We will need our tent. We'll need everything that's sitting on top of this.
I didn't even know we had stuff up there.
Okay. Well, because no one's taken it back to storage, so it needs to depart the base sooner rather than later, but we need to take the coloring books, the brochures, the orange bags, and the tablecloth.
Can we not just leave it here until Fire Service Day and everything that we need is right here? And then bring it back.
Perhaps, well, no, Fire Service Day, since we're supposed to be over there setting up at 10, and this place doesn't open till 10, I would say the day before. Oh, well, we're cutting a class, you can check.
But we don't have to bring it to the store between now.
No, and then we also have the flag, our flag is there too, see, everything is here, it never went back to storage. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the share. But we're gonna utilize all this stuff, including the coloring books. And that, and we even have, it's behind there, I will have Caesar pick it up, but we have the map, we have these stickers, and we have everything. In the last couple of events it's saying. Okay. Any other public comments? Okay, we're gonna move on to number 3. This time I'll read it out loud and then make a correction. Yay. Restructuring UNNC's website and other digital communications for compliance with WCAG 2.1 level A and AA standards, which all have to do with federal disability law. And we did get a memo on April 13th saying that we had to be completed with this task, even though no one had ever told us about it. by April 24th. Now, we did get another memo today, thank goodness, that pushed the compliance date up one full year exactly, so it's April 24th, 2027. But in the meantime, and then Hunter can take it from here and can post the thing. Meantime, Anne's, our webmaster has been working on it anyway. Because we didn't know it was in the meantime, we thought we had to be done.
So I spoke with Anne today and she's aware of the deadline for next year. Basically like the main part of it, which is going to be making sure our website itself is ADA compliant, she says is in the scope of work for the next year. That's like all the hard stuff, like making sure all of our videos have captions, you know, making sure that all of our buttons are working and you can something about talk to text with those as well. I'm not sure of all the like specifics behind it. But she said all that she'll be able to manage with the next year with our regular budget that we usually give to her. Social media stuff I'm gonna be handling.
Right, but we need to have a. I'm interrupting.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And then we have documents, like anything that we post, like our letters or our EACs, those all need to be compliant as well. But only ones in the future. We don't have to go back and retroactively do that. So she doesn't really have a lot to do there, but that's just something that we need to discuss going forward, how to make those ADA compliant, which I don't think should be too much of a hassle, but.
Right, well. So now I'm gonna jump in. In terms of social media, we will need, whether you write it or she writes it, we will need a hand. Because you're not.
But we have a
Yeah.
handbook,
No, I know for this. I mean, in other words.
so we can just like add a section to the.
But I mean, in other words, for people who are not you,
Mm.
if they're gonna post, you know, if we start sharing wealth, somebody else besides you can post it Facebook or
Mhm.
Instagram, they don't have to know how to do it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. We're gonna, part of the task is making sure that future us's can do it correct.
That makes sense.
And part of the task is someone, and it cannot be me, has to go into the MailChimp and update the templates. I mean, in other words, we don't have the right color contrast,
Oh,
for
I see.
example. We still have green, that light green in the templates, which I guess we're not supposed to have. There's supposed to be color contrast. More importantly, I don't even understand what some of this is, about the alt tags on content related images, not decorative or background.
that's all
images.
stuff that is website specific that she said.
Well, you don't think that's gonna be required in the e-blast?
So alt tags would just be like metadata. So it depends on, as I said to Anne earlier today too, I think that we should have a meeting about this and
Oh,
go
yeah.
through sometime in the next few months. for sure.
Right, and I asked Candace to throw in a line in the budget, we don't know the dollars, but I am assuming, correctly or incorrectly, that the city will update all of its physical forms. So some of their forms are what we put on our website.
Mm,
So for example,
I see, yeah,
that MPG application, which they just released a new one, but is it correct?
probably not.
Probably, no, I know it's not, because I already asked, because I've already had to email them 3 times because we're like the beta testers, because we have the two applications we approved at the last board
Oh.
meeting, they were on the wrong form. And because they issued a new form,
So
And-
like as soon as they issue a new one, we can't use the old ones anymore.
well, in this case, they told us we have to use a new form, but the new form was broken. So.
Like, how do they expect our shareholders to be aware of when they're submitting things?
Well,
They should at
because
least
we
give them
have them
4
on-
months, 6 months update or
Okay,
something. I
granted,
know that, I know, I'm just complaining for the website eras.
yes, I mean, but again, the forms were not well tested, because on the page, whatever, where you have the budget, where you put in what you're asking the neighborhood council to pay and what you're asking other people to pay.
Hmm.
If you put $500 on the first line, it just auto-filled all the lines at $500,
I see,
for example.
so they
And
didn't
on
test
the
it at
name-
all.
They didn't beta test it at all, but we were beta testing it piecemeal, so I kept thinking, okay, we found another problem, we found another problem. And finally, I tried to fill it out, so, oh, I found another problem, and now it's fixed, but then we got the memo. So I wrote back again to this group of people and said, are you updating for
Yeah,
is it ADA compliant? So that's one form, but they also are the ones who produce our final PDFs on bylaws, not just ours, but 99 bylaw PDFs. So they, I mean, you see where I'm going. There's some things that we put up,
yeah,
but then other forms that we have that we need to update to be candidate applications.
like
Our
new
can-
candidate.
Our candidate application, not a candidate application if you're running for election.
There's not like photos of anything, so I don't think that there should
They may
be too
just-
much to do.
Well, one question I would have is, and I don't know the answer, but AGLA, which is not a government entity, but the Apartment Association of Los Angeles just announced today that they've updated all of their like application for, all their forms, and they stopped being autofill. And I don't know if autofill is or is not ADA compliant.
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Right, and I don't know that for sure. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna stop the share. The questions I have are, what is involved with converting, and this is going forward, every agenda, every letter, all the documents we produce should be ADA compliant.
Yeah,
And also what's involved with like that pretty fire service state flyer. Does it meet standards?
I think
I
depending on where we're posted, yeah, it would, but that would be more so like, not anything to do with the flyer itself, but how you upload it to social media or upload it to the website. So when you put it into the website, you know how all the boxes come up and it says like caption, alt text, all that.
Well,
That's
I
like
don't
the
know
main
that that comes up because I don't upload anything to the website.
Yeah, I think that like design aspect wise, it should be okay, we just have to do a couple extra steps
Right,
whenever.
so when I do the MailChimp,
Mhm.
we have essentially two kinds of MailChimps. I mean, it's all one account, but we have one that is agendas.
Mhm.
Right, so here's the meetings for the week.
Mhm.
And that's the one that I know it's got the old green in it still, because I did not get rid of it. Based on branding, but now it's too light, so maybe also ADA compliant. One thing I read is you can't have any headers that have nothing in it. Well, if you look carefully at these MailChimps, because I don't know how to adjust the template, there's often at the bottom 2 or 3 unheaded headers.
I see, yeah,
Because I'm just using things and squishing them together because I don't know how to get rid of it. And we don't necessarily have a template that's 1 meeting or 2 meetings or 3 meetings or 4 meetings that I'm putting in, never 5 or 6. I mean, you have to look at it carefully. It's really complicated or not. There's just probably an easy fix to the template. The
Yeah.
other thing I do separate from that would be community news. And now I am inserting everybody else's flyer. Or I'm going out on the internet.
bless you.
Movies in the park, I will find a poster of that movie. I'm not using necessarily the council office flyer. I'm doing instead an image for the movie that will be shown in the park.
Mhm.
So
I don't think that the design though, as in, like, I think that we'll be able to use whatever design we want, is how we import it into the website or something. Like, I think that you'll still be able to use.
well, you're saying website, and I'm saying MailChimp.
Whatever, yes, whatever digital medium that we're using, yes. I think that it's more so like the metadata for ADA tools that the computer uses as opposed to. I think that they want like font size to be large enough, but not like 8 point, but I think you can use whatever images or colors that you want.
Okay, so we may have an economic outlay. Or your time outlay, because I can't do it, on completely redoing our templates in MailChimp, because right now. The font I mean, I change fonts from time to time because these quote standard web
I'm
font.
not sure what the cutoff is, I don't, like, I think your font should be fine, I just.
No,
it-
that's
I
not
think
what I
it's-
was gonna
your
say.
font's too small.
Yes, what I'm saying is our font, the automatic font is something called standard web font, but you can't actually specify. I mean, it's weird. I mean, in other words,
What do you mean?
if I copy and paste something in,
Sure.
it's not necessarily coming in as standard web font. And then I can't specify it, even though I pulled down menu, so I have to choose different fonts. And I don't know if all the fonts that are available. I mean, we just are gonna need to know or fix the template so one can specify.
I can do that, look into it,
Yeah, okay. So you're thinking it's not a budget thing?
no,
For
I don't
next
think we
year.
should have to spend any.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I could-
except for doing her work, but you
and
say,
doing her,
it's
if we have to do all the next 3 days, then yeah, I'll probably have to pay, and.
well, she's been doing like,
Saying that this is
yeah,
within the next year, within what will fit our budget this year, so I think.
Okay. okay, all right, anything? Okay,
No, I think, we have thank God we have a year to do it, it will take us a whole year to do it, I'm sure the website will be done within the next few months, as
well,
as
she's
the-
already worked, I mean, if you go on it,
She's done a
red
lot, but
yeah, the
she
red
said
is
today
already
we have
changed.
done these 88 tasks.
right,
Okay,
right, cause I mean, it became visibly clear what they were doing. Because they got to our
like some,
headlines were changed to the dark red, but the body type was still an orange. So it's clear that we can't use our we just can't use our pre-branded orange anymore for writing, for postcards or anything, I would say. And we're just gonna have to use the darker colors. I have been using the darker colors on the MailChimp, because you can't read it. So intuitively, it's like, I have to be able to read it. But, and on our agendas, I'm gonna have to switch it, because some of the agendas I use bright red, and some I use a very dark red, and I'm gonna say we'll have to use the dark red. When there's any red at all. All right. Candace, you're up. Budget preliminary.
I realized I should have sent this to you so I could
Yeah.
or be on the screen. It's our our current admin packet
Do
minus.
you want me to hand you the flash drive and you copy it? And hand it down? Or do you want to?
This is a Mac, so it won't do that. I can, that might be. It may phone my screen smaller. Oh yeah, you're not on this, so you can't. Okay.
So while you're doing that,
Mm-hmm.
we did get, and I printed out here's another thing that we can't put up on the screen. Did get a memo just at 5 o'clock today, from the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, which does indicate that in the mayor's budget proposal,
Mhm.
she's retained $25,000 a year
Okay.
for neighborhood councils. And roll over up to 10,000. So
Okay.
we're not gonna have 10,000 roll over this year.
Mm-mm.
But we might have some funds. And they're actually also asking for our support. They are asking for budget to to support the new ADA compliance standards, to actually provide funds for neighborhood council election outreach, to help pay for the Congress of Neighborhoods and budget day, and for agenda posting 7 days a week to comply with the new law SB 707. So on that latter item, I've been sending out reminders that our deadlines have changed for agendas because SB, it used to be that as long as we turned in the agendas to minutes before 72 hours in advance for the run out. We were in compliance regardless of when they got around to posting our agendas to the citywide notification system.
Oh, I see.
But under SB 707, there's no, you're only in compliance if it's actually been posted to that system. So they moved all the deadlines backwards. And found that the new council were having a very difficult time getting agendas done for the following week, no later than noon on Friday. And they also are finding themselves deluged with too many agendas to post in that short period of time. So they've been found some funds for this year to have people working on Saturdays and Sundays.
Oh, they did.
So there's a very skeleton staff.
Oh, but not for next year.
They don't have, they're asking for funds for next year. For this to do the same thing, because, you know, somebody goes in. They may not even physically go in, somebody goes to their computer, it might be at home, I don't know how they're handling it. And that's what they are doing for the next 3 or 4 hours, they're just posting. So we've had a little relaxation, but not much on our agenda deadlines. They do not have and will not have, they're not asking for any staffing on holidays. And they're not, and so what had happened, for example, from the last board meeting, they had a unpaid staff holiday on Friday. And a real holiday on Monday, and that's why we had to have our agenda
extra early.
Oh my God, that was really extra. Yeah, I just scrambled. But also the deadline's now 2 in the afternoon, not
5.
or 7 even, or 6.
That's correct.
So I mean, I support us writing a CIS that at least requests that they have that enough funding is in. So anyway, but also interesting in this, back to your budget, is that right now they're saying, you know, the mayor has in fact proposed that we not cancel neighborhood council elections next year.
Okay.
City clerk had their budget proposed not having the elections at all.
I remember talking about that.
Right.
Why were they gonna cancel them?
No money. It's expensive and they're, you know, they're trying.
So what they doing?
So no elections means extending the people that are already there, or no
Correct.
advertising?
No,
Oh,
no. So the clerk wanted no elections, so that anyone who on our roster term expired in 2027 would be extended. I don't know for how long, but they would be extended.
oh,
And it might have been extended all the way to 2029.
that's all.
They're
It's
just,
a
like,
long
making
time.
calls as they go. How are they gonna?
Well, you know
decide,
what,
like,
this is,
your term is.
well, you know what, this would be the 3rd time that would have happened in the 20-some years history,
That's
because it's not the only budget crisis that's ever happened.
Yeah,
in
I don't
the
think
city.
Dunn should be spending 120 or spending any amount of money on them, that's silly, but I also don't think just saying, okay, you guys are now.
Well, the clerk is who runs the elections, Dunn only runs the outreach. Dunn's outreach sucks. So, but it was the clerk who made the budget proposal to not do it at all.
I see, that's weird as well.
And then the mayor has obviously, but the mayor has put in her budget that we are having elections, but once again, by mail only, which was a miserable failure.
Yeah, last year.
It was a miserable failure, but anyway, we need to have money in our budget for elections.
Okay, so,
You wanna,
because the internet does not love me.
oh, and I didn't bring my phone.
Yeah, is it on the thing? I feel like that will take too long and it's already been a long day, so I could, is
Wait,
it
why
okay?
don't you
to
just talk about it? This is.
I was gonna
really
say it's
good
okay to
discussion.
voice over the category
Yes, please.
and not to. I pulled it up, but no, it's not there. So generally, there are 3 major categories. Admin, housing. The amount we spend for office supplies and office expenditures, here we go. So underneath that category, we have the PO box that we pay for. That is budgeted, so this is based on the $25,000 before we got our rollover this year. So under the office and operationals category, we had the USPS PO box rental, that was $500. The Ring Central phone system was also at $500. Our Zoom subscription is at $200. The Canva license is at $150. Board meeting refreshments is at $2,000. The storage unit rental, which is the point of contention, $4,200. Website creation, maintenance, and enhancement. That's the Zumwiko account, $7,260. The board retreat was at $300 and insurance is at $500. So the total operational expenditures under the $25,000 admin package, $15,610.
Okay, so some of those prices will be higher. I can get them, the Zoom license is
It's like
$265,
yeah,
$275, something like that. Canva would think was staying. PO box, if you just look at what I just paid, which could do, it keeps inching up. The council office is moving into new offices, new field offices. They will be back within our footprint.
area, okay.
So I have asked, and I'm gonna keep asking, but maybe everyone can remember to add. On the second, when we meet with council, I have asked that they give us a closet. They design in storage for us there, and so that we don't have to, we can move out of the storage. I haven't heard a yes, but I haven't heard a no. But
Okay,
we need to keep on it.
so see if they'll let us go.
Well, I mean, it's a silly expense of sitting, those taxpayer money, you know, for the price of a closet,
Basically,
right? Just give us a closet. Will you, I mean,
That would
don't,
be nice.
right? And it would change our access, but we can just plan.
It's not like the storage in it is 24/7 anyway, right?
Correct.
They open at 10 or something ridiculous.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
and then
Yes,
they called it
probably.
like 6 or
Yeah.
something.
So, so I ideally will be able to jettison the storage fees,
All right,
but I don't know
so-
that for sure.
So under the office category. The PO box is
Up a little.
Storage, we're asking CD10.
For help. I mean, I'm gonna assume there really actually is space in the homeless services center, but I'm not sure anyone thinks.
Cause that's where it used to be, right?
Well, it wasn't a homeless service center. At the time.
I'm sorry, is that where they're moving back to? Or? is it
No,
different?
they're moving into the brand new office spaces, Crenshaw.
Off of 29?
Yep.
Really?
But I don't know the timing. I just know that we need to do something, cause it's crazy.
Got it, and then, we said, now I'm taking notes, so what we talked about.
Right, I'm gonna see if I can find them, here.
So PO box is inching, storage will add CD10, so that should help with that. And then you said in this current budget for this admin packet, there are no election expenditures.
So, right, you have to add.
So we have to.
It goes under outreach, but you have to
This
have,
is separate, yeah,
right,
add election, so
and I think we had 3,000.
for outreach, we had 5,500.
Right, but I think election,
Oh,
The
right,
year
the
before,
yeah.
I think we have 3,000 specific to elections. So the payment amount this year for USPS was already 522.
Oh.
And so if we only had 500, luckily, nobody questioned that at clerks when I paid 522. Just saying, and see, now I'm gonna see if I can figure out.
That's for the year, right?
Yes, that's for the
Okay.
full year, so we'll be billed again in March of 2027,
Mhm.
but what I'm looking at. Is. Yeah, it's inching up, so a year ago it was 498,
That's probably wrong too.
correct. Year before that was 474, so it's, you know. So put in at least 550, it looks like it's going up 20,
Okay.
you know.
PO box, so let's
Because it was 525 this year,
Got it.
522.
set it 550 in the proposed budget. And then, okay, so outreach, we did a lot of outreach this year. So last year, before we had a rollover, we allocated $5,500. And on the line for that was a community meet and greet, which
We haven't done.
we haven't done.
Well, my
not-
God, you know what, in a way we have.
That's what I was gonna say, kind of, but not. In our mind, when we set this aside, this was kind of like off the elections. But we were talking to South LA Cafe over here on 8th Ave or whatever, 4th Ave. To have like a meet your UNNC rep thing where there was like coffee, like on a Saturday morning from, I don't know, like 10, 12 or something. So we did not do that. We allocated $1,000 for that. I think it's a good idea that maybe we can roll over for next year.
Yeah.
UNNC community events, we had the thing at the park.
Well,
that
we've had a million.
Had a million community events.
Yeah.
So we allocated $2,000 for that. So shout out to the rollover for letting us participate in more stuff. The West Adams Jazz Festival, which we always do, and then printing and advertising, we had at $1,000. That was under the outreach.
Okay, so that was in the budget, so what we actually did for printing and advertising was 1,500.
Okay.
Because I mean, the BAC we did in
Yeah.
either July or August. And that was because we were thinking about, oh my God, we're gonna do not just the jazz festival, but we're doing 3 events in October, remember? So we needed to have enough printed for a tree planting event, so that's not an annual. But we had the Koreatown Festival and we had Taste of Soul and the tree planting event all on the same weekend.
Yeah.
So we thought, oh, we're gonna need all this. Well, we didn't spend all that money.
Mhm.
I'm still chipping away at it because then we did other things. So 1,500 on the BAC. 500 on the BAC to support the kids event in the park earlier this month. 500 on a BAC, another 500 to support outreach for our Green Master Plan. We have exceeded that. Because we had to go back for a second printing of our little stickers. Well, that's a good thing. It's
Yeah.
popular, it's a good thing. But I mean, these are the kinds of things that it's easy. So those are the kind of outreach things for sure we'll need to be doing.
So do we want to up our printing and advertising to 2,000?
Because we're gonna have to do, well, it's gonna include election outreach. Because we'll have to do postcards,
Okay.
be a candidate and then vote. I mean, we'll have to do something that's not just digital, but it was still a miserable failure. But we can't not promote, but also we're gonna be on this Green Master Plan, presumably continuing to go to community events after the switch of the budget year, and I don't know when we're gonna run out of handouts of all sorts. I mean, in other words,
So
I think it's a successful idea that we're piggybacking on other people's events. But every time you table,
yeah.
you give things away. So
For flyers and
Well,
the print.
coloring books, and let me just say, I mean, what else have we done? Seeds and seed packets and labels, and we have a cute seed.
But you have plenty of them, you can still keep giving out.
Well, people like
want
them.
Yeah,
Yeah, people like them and it's
We actually-
unusual.
a bunch more, the last 3 event from USC.
I'm not 100% sure Teresa didn't,
Take it back. I mean, she didn't. She gave
I mean,
us the funds as if
it
she
was
was giving them to us, but.
Well- there and see if yes or no, but I wanna be honest with you, we had this stuff out again. At the Coffee with a Cop and I did not see seats. So I'm guessing she kind of looked at it and said, no, those are mine.
We call the category under outreach, printing, advertising material.
And outreach and promotional, because we don't advertise,
Okay,
you know, we don't buy ads,
promotion.
yeah.
Promotion of material.
And obviously, we're being selective, we're not gonna hand out either coloring books or seat packets at jazz music and
Yeah,
stars. I mean, that makes no sense, people can't hear you. You know.
Okay, and then I do think it's good every year for us to at least attempt to have an event. That's
Yeah.
our own, and whether, I know the kind of run-in was for a minute, we didn't have an outreach person, but now we do.
Right, see, I'm sorry, you know where else we spent money, we also spent money on Sandra. Also does the movie in the park,
Yeah,
and we also are spending money.
but that was under NPGs. Separate.
No, what, oh,
Yeah,
yes, but we won't be, able. Sandra's gonna do a movie in the park. We will not be able to make that an MPG unless she finds yet another nonprofit park.
because she's on the.
She's the president of the Friends of the Library,
Okay,
so we're.
and
we're
now
gonna have-
she's
we should,
board.
right, so we're gonna have a serious conversation with her about planning that in advance, about the methodology of payment.
Mhm.
But the amount, you're calling it an MPG, it's really outreach, and how much, you know,
Yeah,
are we gonna spend? And then, what we're also calling outreach, even though it's an activity of our emergency preparedness committee, would be on June 6th, we're gonna be spending money for our, we've already voted it. I just don't remember how much, was it 600, but a workshop, an emergency preparedness workshop. Now, we're gonna do that every year, probably not, but these are, you know, these are all outreach, we're calling outreach kind of expenses.
okay.
And you guys are saying having an outreach event is a good idea to do every year, is what I'm saying, of our
Yeah,
own.
to have,
Yeah,
to
Yes.
have it budgeted, like remember.
No, I'm not-
Yeah,
I'm not
resource
arguing.
fair, but I think this year it worked out that we are tabling other things, so it feels like.
Well, no, we're
And
doing,
then the big event
Well, these
at
are-
the park.
yeah,
for-
I missed it.
the
The health and well,
Yeah, but we were, I feel like we were the main sponsor for the support, we could piggyback.
I mean, just to like, you know, continue to put our name out into the neighborhood and reach stakeholders, I think we should definitely have one, at least event that's always.
Correct. correct.
And then, okay, so then under this $25,000 budget, on to MPGs. We had $3,890 budget.
Original.
Originally, but
we've-
we,
12,
because we had the promo. So let's just say, again, we're having a conversation based on the 25. The way we had it broken up was $1,000 to 3 projects and $890 to 1.
yeah, that was a silly amount,
I mean,
900.
I feel like that's the amount that went to the movies and park.
There was a
It
conversation about
was a
moving
smaller,
something, right?
yeah, so this grew a lot when we got our rollover funds, and last year we knew we were gonna get a lot of money. But this year won't be as much.
Yeah.
Please don't ask me yet. I don't know. I have to look at it, but I will have it in.
Right.
I'll have it in some of this time, but it's
all
not
that
gonna be
matters.
it's not gonna be as much as last year we rolled over like $14,000.
$14,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will, so again, Grace and Corinne are working very hard to forge a more permanent relationship with Fire Station 26.
Okay.
So we are gonna be spending $1,300 or up to that amount. In May, for, you know, we voted it. We're not spending money on the Fire Station 94 event, just spending on the one, just.
Oh,
like-
so yeah. there
Well,
was-
94 found so many funds, they said we don't have yours.
Well, that's good.
But because they're bound and determined to forge a permanent relationship, I think that puts fire service day back on we used to have it as an annual because we were supporting.
So this is under MPGs or?
No, this is under outreach, I think. It's under events. I forgot about it
Okay.
when we were talking. I know my brain, but
No, it's fine. So fire safety is like.
Fire service day is an annual event, second Saturday of every May. In
On
the
site
distant past, we routinely also funded, but it was just Fire Station 34 in Jefferson Park rather than 26.
So this year we're doing.
Well, this year, we're doing Fire Station 26.
Okay.
But the point being, we've got you know how we sort of ended up at the retreat realizing that we don't have enough time to set our goals and projects. And then, but it didn't matter because we're gonna use people's passions and that's the things we're gonna do. I'm here to tell you that Grace and Kareem
Are very
passionate
So fire
about
service day.
creating a better relationship with well, also with the LAPD, but there's no LAPD service day.
Okay, so fire service day is
Probably something we should throw onto the budget.
$1,200.
Sure.
Okay,
Well,
got it. Okay, so this is, again, these are all suggestions of
Right.
what to put down when I present the preliminary.
and
Then we discuss.
we'll have a better idea of what our role.
Okay, and then for MPGs, however much.
Is left.
Mhm.
So
Cause for elections, how much did we say? Cause I feel like
3,000.
we allotted
3,000.
that, but didn't spend.
well, we got pissy, but also remember we didn't have, with one exception, we didn't have an election. We didn't have candidates. There was not a competitive election. For us. That doesn't mean, it's hard to predict.
Okay, so for election budget, we need 3,000.
I think, if we do, there are neighborhood councils that'll budget $10,000, so if we budget.
They'll budget half of your.
Yep,
What are you doing?
I can't.
Waste it.
Like, so I'll be honest, I was there at those things and I think, I don't remember and I don't wanna lose his page and have
Yeah.
her waiting. But I feel like we had something like 3,000 budgeted and we maybe spent 1,800, like
Mhm.
we didn't spend a
Correct.
lot of.
Yeah, it was 1,500 per. Park.
Exactly, phase 1, phase 2.
Right.
And we decided, or it was maybe 1,000, 1,000, 1,000,
That was something like.
and then we realized we don't have candidates, we don't need 3 phases,
Mhm.
right? Because there wasn't much to do, but that may not be the case. I will say this, what I would like to do is, on my pitch to the council office, if we don't have to spend a minimum of $4,344 on storage
We can move that.
into our NPG supporting our community partners, doesn't that seem like a great idea? Could we please have a closet?
Right.
Hmm.
Would CV10 charge us money?
No. For a closet?
Hey, just ask.
No.
Just because they're part of the community.
Well, if they can't, one department can't.
Oh, we're getting a nonprofit
No
too.
problem.
You know, it's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They charge us for their freaking Canva account, they'll charge us for a
Well, that's-
closet. I feel.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, maybe. Okay, well, I'm gonna try.
okay,
I'm
yeah,
trying.
all of those things are tried and
Mhm.
a good thing to pitch at the meeting, which TBD. We'll talk.
Okay.
But yes, okay, so, alright, so the old, and then for MPG projects, if we only have let's call it $3,000.
Well,
Well-
we shouldn't be giving, if all we end up with is $3,000 or $4,000 total, we should not be giving $2,500 to anybody.
No, all of the MPGs shrink now to maybe 1,000. Maybe, but that's
This is for all of next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last year, when we did the budget, we did the budget based on the 25,000.
Well,
That's the base.
That's all we can do.
That's all you can do until September, when the city clerk is like, hey, you have this rollover running now out. So,
We added mostly all of it to NPG,
because that's what we get the
Right.
most.
but we're not gonna get that this year. Or we
No,
won't get,
because
It's not gonna be as big.
it's certainly not gonna be as big.
we'll get some.
Because right now, all we have, well, still a lot, yes, under $16,000, right this second.
Right this second,
5,000, 15,900.
I guess this also
15,800.
rolls over to the treasury report, might as well not all of it out.
Sure.
Right this minute, it was pulled up on my computer and.
Well,
Oh, here it is, okay, so right this minute. We have $15,789 available.
Okay.
But we still have to pay out the rest of Ann's recall.
right,
We
we have paid the rest of Anne, we have to pay,
and then we have two MPGs that have yet to be submitted.
correct. Here,
Uh,
well, we're not, here, I can also do 362 plus
Mhm.
362. Equals, so 1,086 for storage to be paid
left.
this fiscal year.
Okay, hold on, so
You might
now,
take that note.
hold on, so expenses. So I can guesstimate.
Exactly, so 1,086 will still be spent on storage. How much are they charging us at your favorite pasta place?
Oh,
We're finishing up.
that would be. What do we
May
want
and
to be,
June.
130, 150 a month? It
Well-
won't be, it'll be less than 200 for sure.
Right, so you wanna say 350 total, May and June, we're just estimating expenses.
350
For board refreshments. 1,350, it's an up to number, 1,350 for fire service day. I wanna say 600.
All right, that's fair. Okay, go ahead.
600 for 1 day. Emergency preparedness workshop, unless the clerk. Demands that we have insurance, in which case add another 400.
Okay.
I told Grace and Cream that absolutely positively no later than May 1st. They have to have all the information so I can upload an event request,
Yeah.
because. If they do suddenly say you need insurance, we'll need to vote on it May 7th, because we haven't voted on that. Okay, can anybody think of anything else coming up the pipe that we have to pay for? And how much is Anne's balance? She keeps emailing,
That's a good question.
but she keeps telling us. Cause that's, I think, the big thing that's still.
Just how much we still owe her left?
Well, we don't owe it if she doesn't do the work, but she's gonna be doing the work, cause she's already working on this,
The thing, yes.
just 88.
Our latest invoice, total due for this invoice, $786.50.
Right, but yes, but
What's
that's
that?
not, these have all been paid. No, she said after, the last time she gave us an invoice, she said, my balance is.
She did say that, let me see
Oh.
what she said.
Total invoice to date, remainder for fiscal year, 1538.50.
Yes, 1538.
15.
Okay. Now, she keeps forgetting. And maybe we'll just say, take a 2-week vacation. We can't do a check request after June 1. So, and we can't prepay her. So we got permission last year to use, the one time where she invoiced and I could use the credit card to pay her on June 15. But I still couldn't pay her for June work, June 15 to June 30. So that gets pushed. So, however we do it. What's happened to our video?
Which one?
Oh, it's fuzzy.
Oh.
And not only that, it's not, there it is.
The camera's probably just like, I bet nobody's wiped off the lens in a
2
year.
years. Okay. So do we think we have any other things coming up the pipe? Down the pipe? Phrases.
So all the things we just said come out to 4,900 24. That's
$5,000.
less the insurance that we don't know if we need yet. So with that,
We might actually have 10,000 over.
we might. 5,420.
Huh. Well, surprise, surprise.
That's less than last year, but.
Oh, no, but you're not ever supposed to really have more than 10,000.
That's why they.
Last year they were, because of the slashed budget,
Mm.
which nobody wanted because we went from 32 to 25. They relented and let us roll everything over.
But that's not here.
No,
that's
the
not-
municipal code and wherever it's sitting says max 10,000.
Mm.
Or guaranteed 10,000.
Yeah, that's because they know they slashed the budget.
Right.
Yeah, so close to 10.
Okay, so we might have
So
money
we
for
might have
MPGs.
money to
Okay,
MPGs in election, we can do
right,
the.
but we don't need to allocate. So I would say again, 3,000 for elections, if you feel more comfortable, 2,500.
Okay.
And we'll have a little more information, so the timeline here for Hunter, because you don't usually you haven't been at all these meetings year after year.
Mhm.
So the timeline is, we finalize it here at the May board executive meeting.
The election
May-
timeline or the.
The budget.
The budget.
Yeah.
So that we present a completed admin packet for approval to the June board meeting.
Mhm.
And we also have to do an updated separate agenda item, scope of work for Anne, which I can type,
Mhm.
but we need to add this,
The ADA stuff.
but without. I mean, we need to add it in, but not change her price, but you need to
Yeah.
check with her to make sure she's not changing her price. But she took a cut this year, and she may not, when she says I can do it in my scope of work, she may not be willing to do it in her scope of work
Reduce.
with the reduced budget cut she took.
Totally.
So we need to get a price from her, and we should not be objecting too much. But we have to vote in June on a scope of work for fiscal year 26, 27. That matches what we have in the admin packet.
Yeah.
We do that in June. Candace turns it in,
Mm-hmm.
and come July, we do it again.
Yeah.
Because it's
Technically.
technically, we're actually voting on the money in the correct fiscal year.
Mhm.
But if we don't vote in June, our funds are frozen up, except for $300
I remember that.
on July 1.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, what is the date of the exec board meeting in
It would be
It's
third
May
Tuesday.
4th.
No,
there?
exactly.
The exec,
Oh, the executive,
Hang on.
But
That'd
25th or 18th.
be probably 18th.
okay.
But it might be the 19th. Okay, it's May 19. Are you back in town?
Yes, that's what I was making sure.
Okay, yeah, so it's May 7. Then May 19 for executive,
Okay.
and June 1 is a Monday. So if we have voted. Oh, you haven't, we don't have 10,000, because we have the 2 MPGs we've already approved.
Oh,
that
right.
Haven't gone through,
We
we'll have about 5,000.
You're right.
Oh,
Oh, cause I forgot, I had,
Yeah.
I did,
Oh my God, what about family?
they finally signed it, so, but remember, I did the draft, so that money is.
The
still-
2,500 is
It's
out,
counted, yeah, it's
Okay.
counted in the.
but these other 2 are
But
not.
these other 2 are not. You're
And
right.
then, by the way, finally, family may have finally signed it, but they're gonna fill out the new form.
We about to see.
Huh?
We're about to see.
Because you're gonna turn it in, and you'll see.
Because it's been a draft. I'm not pointing it out because I don't need any extra work between now.
No,
and-
I understand.
So-
Turn it in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna turn it in, and actually, they did it, I was holding the space. Well, that's all.
Okay, but
yes.
we don't have 10,000 rollover, we'll have.
It's more
5,000.
closer to 5,
Okay.
yes,
It's
so.
all right.
What I might be able to do now, when we move into the president's report, is put a placeholder for the 2 that we just approved. But then my question is, for the funding request for the watch party,
I don't.
I'm not sure, because when we talked about the last 2 MPG, I'm sorry, I'm just.
I know we're jumping to the next agenda, item,
Yeah.
but it's okay. We haven't gotten there, but we should talk about that specifically. I'm not sure about it. I agreed to put it on the agenda and then she's not here anyway, but I think that's okay. I mean,
Oh, okay.
that's not Yona.
Okay, so that's, I remember this saying that that was the last MPG, because that was the end of the
Correct.
2 that we just approved.
Correct.
For Carson Gore.
And other
Both
Carson
programs, yeah.
Right.
Carson Gore, both programs was the end of the MPG fund.
And you have to adjust the budget by 10
Yes, in order
to pay it.
to pay for all of
Yeah.
that.
So I'm gonna say on the budget planning, it looks like we'll have about a 5,000.
Mhm,
And so we'll have about 30,000 for the year.
mhm.
So it would be ideal if I can get us the free storage,
Yes,
because that will help our budget.
yes.
And then the other thing is for the green master plan stuff that we're working on.
Mhm.
And or any seed money we need for something green. We do still have approximately 4,500 or $5,000 deeply buried in
Oh,
a,
that buried money.
it exists in the secret account. We won 2 grant challenges years and years and years ago. And did I tell you how to find that on the website? I'll tell you. It's not in our budget, but
There's a
there's
big UNNC.
no,
The
it-
big.
yeah, there's a tab for, well, you're not online, right?
Kind.
Anyway,
Okay, yes.
so we may be able to. I mean, it'd be very nice to have some seed money for one of the green projects. There's
Mhm.
several being discussed, but I don't see how we would in our basic budget, so I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I mean, Colleen and a group of people are working on revamping a proposal for the medians right here at the freeway.
Mhm.
We're talking about the green alley, Paseo, that's
The
position
green,
place,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, so seed money meaning we need to pay into some, there's a whole, but, you know. And the other thing about outreach, just by the way. Which also is elections, the Wellington Square Farmers Market. May end up having to move, and if they move, where they're moving is the LAUSD parking lot that's on Washington Boulevard, just east of Norton and across from 10th Avenue.
Hmm.
So next to that big teal green brand new building,
Oh, okay.
they're not happy, they don't want to, but the council office wants them there. But if this happens, they're in our
They're in our-
footprint, and that will mean, among other things, we're gonna need to take advantage of it and
Yeah.
table there quite often.
So possible,
Well, it just would mean more printed materials.
okay. All right, so I think this was good. This was productive, kind of an overview, and then thinking about what we would like to do. I don't think we have it, well, let me.
Okay, so the next agenda, can we move to the
Yeah,
next
so we
agenda?
can move to,
I'm gonna pull it
so
up.
I kind of feel like we did 6 and 4 together.
Yeah, yes, I think we did.
So for number 5,
Here, hang on, what I have to do is actually. I have to. No, I don't need that one. Trying to get business, that we do our due diligence. We do have an application. For request for $1,000. To support. A watch party. Sorry, just having trouble.
And then
This is not,
fiscal year is July 1. Okay.
here we go. All right, we have a request to support the 2026 Los Angeles World Cup watch party at the Seoul International Park up in Koreatown. And I will say it's a free event versus the other watch party that's at Coliseum. By no means a free event.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're asking for help funding advertising, marketing, promotion, community outreach efforts in English, Korean, and Spanish. And the thing is, we don't have any more NPG money, but we're not dead broke. I mean, it's not like we couldn't do it. It is not within our footprint, but it is something that would be, it's a big, free, inclusive, family friendly event. I haven't gone to any of their festivals. I know that we've gone. Elizabeth's gone.
This is a different event.
It's a different event,
right?
but it's the same location. I mean, my question is, did you have the sense that our stakeholders were there? People who live.
I mean, I think that the
footprint.
audience for the Korean festival is gonna be really different from this one, it's people
Right.
from all over the world, right? So
Right.
I don't know, I have no idea, I think $1,000 is much, can we do 500?
Was my thought.
Yeah, so that's my question. I mean, it's not like you can't, if you have to adjust the budget by $10, I don't know why you can't adjust the budget by $510. But you just can't do it until after the main board meeting that you're missing.
Yeah.
But you could do it without being in attendance.
I could
You-
submit it to be done, right?
Right,
To be, okay.
right. I mean, so the question, if the board agreed, but do we recommend to the board $500?
Yeah, we tell them that they want 1,000, we recommend 500,
Yes.
if you guys think that they should give them more.
And
let us
then,
know. But we give them money every year, it's like,
No, this
you know,
is unusual. We don't give them this money.
no, I know, but we give them other money every year, so.
Well, we have done it 2 years.
I'm trying to remember where we said we were moving the money from.
Outreach, I'm sure.
Yes, okay. Yes, because outreach has like 8.
It still have,
Yeah, it still has money. So we can safely move $510. Once
Yeah.
we get to 1,000, I feel like
Yeah, that's fine.
teetering on others.
okay. I mean, I feel like. I think it's a swell idea to help out with a free watch party. I do
Mhm.
think Mexico versus Korea is gonna be very popular,
A lively game, yeah.
right? And I don't think we can stop the share. Stop shares. But I wanna tell you that, she better show up to the board meeting, because I'm not sure what's gonna say this.
Right.
Okay, so we'll move, we are in agreement.
Yeah. We recommend 5 from outreach to help
Okay.
support. Since
Okay.
this is the existing relationship. that we continue to-
Right, well, it's also because of the
And it's a good-
multicultural.
Yeah.
Okay, so on executive committee business, yep, I think we've pretty much done the treasurer's report. President's report, the council office, we're meeting with the council office on Saturday morning, May 2nd. They have asked that I in advance tell them at least some of the topics that we want to discuss with them.
Mhm.
And I know, because I've been hanging out with all the board members, a continued focus on traffic safety on Jefferson, Arlington, and Adams.
Mhm.
I know we want to talk to them, excitedly share with them our progress on this green master, bring this map that happens to be sitting behind the cabinet. We still have a lot to do on the north side of the freeway, but I think we want to bring it with us, say, this is what we're doing.
Mhm.
And that we would like support for sure for moving the greening of the alley, the Exposition Place alley forward, because it just turns out that that's been approved by Metro, but never implemented.
Mhm, yeah.
And so like, please put this in, your budget. So
Just
those are the,
years ago.
well, we voted on it. We, the board, have voted on that, but what else do we wanna? I mean, I don't wanna make it a Caesar day, focused on his two projects only.
Definitely the closet space,
Yes.
the storage.
Well, better use of taxpayer money, if they can, please give us a closet. Then we can use our, another $4,400.
Yeah.
For community benefits.
So the other question is, will they be in this new building by the time?
No. May 2nd? No.
That would have made it easier for my.
I know,
life.
you gotta get up. I mean, what's happening at the airports? I don't think, have the air traffic controllers been,
I don't know,
re-employed?
I'm going to SAC next week, so I'll see how bad it is.
she's gotta get on a plane for New Orleans at noon. What time is your
Oh,
flight?
no, I'm going to DC first for work.
Oh, right,
And
what
then
time
I'm
is the flight?
10:30?
In the
No.
morning? No,
12.
12,
I
you had
can
told
look
me
at it.
12
It's
before.
noon, that's why I was like. But I might be ambitious, we'll talk.
Yeah.
CBD, we'll talk.
Yeah, I mean, if you came to this meeting, you're only there 30 minutes.
Yeah,
You
so
got to
I feel like I might I trust y'all to.
I don't blame you.
But
That would be
again,
great.
do we, 5 or 6 items is what they asked me for.
Okay,
Mhm.
so
Um,
traffic safety, green safety plans, working for us, what else?
Okay, so one thing that she's done. That Heather did. That Donna Jones at my request, we didn't really pass this by the board,
Mhm.
but Heather's team
Mhm.
has. Done a motion from the council floor to designate a particular. Property, 3911 West Adams, the former Mary Clay Kindergarten.
Thing.
Oh my God,
No, I
photos,
seriously did, I have to ask my mom, but I
Okay.
went to Mary.
because we're looking for photos.
Canada.
Okay, anyway, as a historic cultural monument, so what happened was. An architectural historian named Allison Jefferson approached the council office with a request to. Declare dedicate the block as Mary Clay Square.
What's
And
the building?
it's still a school.
It's-
It's still a school. It still has little preschool kids. Still a school. So anyway, Donna and I were both reached out to from the council office. Me for UNNC,
Mm.
she for the avenues, to say, do you support that? And she and I both said, well, yeah, but why aren't you nominating it? I mean, no, someone's gonna see a sign, they're not gonna know anything, there'll be no scholarship associated with it. Why don't you also, have it be designated as a historic cultural monument? It's not in any way endangered, it's a contributing structure to the historic preservation overlay zone anyway. But why don't you do both at the same time?
Right.
And they agreed. And so the Mary Clay Kindergarten was Mary Clay. But it was the first kindergarten for African kids.
Oh, wow.
At a time when you couldn't, I didn't know you went there.
I did, well, you could send your kids to school that, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the 80s, it was right there off of Adams.
That's
right?
right,
Like,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
39
so I
on
went to
Adams.
Mary Clay, and I remember it.
Well, it was a kindergarten
Me too.
before 5 years old.
Okay. In kindergarten, and I remember, like how my mom could come, she's gonna be like, what? Yeah, I went there maybe 2 days. I remember having like a little birthday party there, and I really remember it because I think my mom kind of closed my hand and the door was there. But yeah, but no. I do remember being there. I remember the inside, there were like little stairs, and like one side was the classroom, and you went around, it was the other side, but yeah, I went to there and kindergarten.
Yeah, so,
Probably pre-K or maybe before, because I started there. So it was like a early. It had to be, because I started there and then I left from there and went to Transfiguration in the Merck. And I started Transfiguration. So maybe I did pre-K. That's my mom. I did pre-K at Mary Clay, and then I did kindergarten through like 5th grade at Transfiguration. No, 4th grade, and then I went to 6th.
got it,
Yeah.
right, homegrown girl.
Yeah.
So anyway, Heather was really excited that she's doing a nomination for African American history. And the point in all of this is that for some years now, the city of LA, the planning department, the Cultural Heritage Commission, they're all saying we have to have more historic, monuments that are associated with, people whose histories are hit. I'm trying to be, say it the way that it's said, people of color, gay, lesbian, women, just women, they're highly focused. So that's the talk they're talking, but the staff at Office of Historic Resources has been acting as a real gatekeeper. So when people are actually just regular citizens writing, they're giving them a huge amount of trouble. So like the Greater Page Temple, which is on Adams and LaSalle, so just east of Western, has really strong history of association with African American history, as well as being an important architect. I mean, it's beautiful Gothic revival, 1904, John C. Austin. 2.5 years to get through the process because staff kept sending the nomination back. Well, what about this? What about that? So, Heather is kind of excited about the idea of just doing more from the floor because those with, oh yeah, it was nominated on March 25th. They're scheduled next week for a tour, and they'll be at the commission in May. Maybe June. It's fast. So I don't know if UNNC wanted to make that one of the topics, or if that's just my personal excitement.
Should be. Well, maybe it's related, maybe not. Remember when we talked about the cows? Is that still a thing?
Which one is
The one on Crenshaw.
the boys? Not the AKA, which
No,
is
the AKAs is on Adams.
Right,
Yeah.
in a different district.
Right, yes. I'm saying I know them both.
Right.
I am AKA, but I also know the president of the county.
Right,
That's
that would be one, because I will say
Yeah.
that the people in Lafayette Square who are interested in this topic had also brought up
The Kappa House. The Kappa House has been there
But that's-
forever.
and it is within UNNC's footprint.
And I think it's one of the only, it's also went to school in the South. So there are lots of houses down there for the grad chapters, but in LA, expensive property. So that's kind of rare to have a house. And so that house has been there forever. Cause when I did my debutante in high school, we had rehearsals there, they rented out, we had
Well-
meetings and that kind of stuff. So it's
So the answer is maybe this might be something interesting.
I remember we talked about it.
No, not the specific house, I
Yeah.
mean, the broad
The topic
of
culturally relevant
to
landmarks in UNNC's foot.
right, because the other one that she did. It isn't anything like that. It was the Cunningham Mansion, also in our footprint. And that was just because it was Cunningham family still lived there, and I mean, it was just a time capsule. I mean, they walked in, it was the same furniture as. I mean, so it's a different thing, but these are. It's not that easy anymore for mere citizens to.
To nominate.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe the topic would be cultural
Well, that we appreciate, oh, no, I mean, it's just, we appreciate your help in recognizing culturally significant places in our footprint.
Okay, so this is what I've written down. Traffic safety, master green plan, storage, and appreciation
Yeah.
for
With cultural,
historic designation.
but
We
what,
had a bunch of people write on that big piece of paper, right? Were there any other ideas?
oh,
Just
yeah.
Gosh, that was a good piece.
Because I'm sure, like, honestly, I don't think storage should count as like one of the main things
Yeah,
that we're
yeah.
talking to her about,
Right.
you know, so that gives us two.
Was on the side.
Can I ask, can I pitch in?
sure, you can weigh in here, just weigh in.
Okay, well, I want to advocate for business improvement along the Jefferson Park corridor. So, I spoke to her at Coffee with a Cop, and she said she had some ideas because I had told her that, there was some, rumblings about a business improvement district, but she said that maybe that might not be the best way. She had some other ideas, and I know that there's so many, big projects coming up along the way. It would be great to have like a more master plan. And she mentioned like the stuff that's happening on Jefferson west of Crenshaw with all of the, highly likely that art district area. So I would love to see what, ideas she had about developing the corridor east of Crenshaw on Jefferson.
Great,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a great idea.
And it's interesting that she said maybe there's other things to do other than a business improvement district. Because there is technically a business improvement district with varied funds somewhere, because there already was one established.
Well, I looked on the site and there is none for Jefferson Boulevard.
Well, not currently, but I can tell you it was a guy named Gus and some other people. They had funds. They're the ones who installed the what are they called? The entrance gateway things, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
had a project to light them, but then that never seemed to happen. And then it all fell apart. But the thing with the business improvement district, I'm not sure the business improvement district itself dies when it's abandoned. And I think there were funds that are sitting somewhere in the city
Okay.
for it. I'm not sure, but to her point, just saying that it's a priority, we'd like to do this.
And I'd love to hear what her plans are that.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know,
What her plans are,
Also,
yeah.
There's also this money that I was told that is available for the from maybe CIM that's within a half-mile radius for development. And so Sandra told me there was some money there. And so it's part of their development. There's something in their plan that apparently they have to set aside some money for sidewalk repair, beautification, various things. So that half-mile radius definitely will spread on Jefferson Boulevard from Crenshaw to at least 7th Street, so or 7th Avenue. So yeah, I think she mentioned something about a target economic development thing.
Oh, TNI, but targeted neighborhood I. That it is not from CIM, but yes, those might be two different things.
Yes, but various other things that
Yeah.
might be,
Targeted neighborhood initiative.
yes. So I would love to hear that, but I'm not going to be there on that day, or that weekend. And so I hope you guys, definitely bring it up. And she mentioned even having a day where we would have a tour of some of the plans that are in effect. And so she was going to set something up where we could do a walkthrough, but we have to talk to Alyssa about that.
Okay, so you had a really substantial conversation with a council member. Congratulations. Yeah, no, that's good, and we'll mention that we have just reestablished our economic development committee.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, perfect timing.
it's perfect timing.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Great.
Although I will say I'd like to hear the same information for Washington Boulevard personally.
Mhm.
So,
Maybe next, Washington or Jefferson.
right. Yeah. Because I don't want people to ignore Washington Boulevard. And is there? I mean, I'm thinking out loud. We, UNC had done a couple of iterations of a walk on Washington event. Before COVID, when the businesses, even the ones that weren't normally open on Saturdays, open on Saturday. I mean, it was really fun. You know, they were every business, it was like a
I was talking to Sophie about this last event that we're at.
right.
It sounds fun.
It was fun and it was like a scavenger hunt. So people would get little things at each anyway. And some people had said, let's do the same thing on Jefferson. And I was like, I on and off tried to figure out what even it could be called, because we had Walk on Washington.
Yeah.
And the folks over in West LA have Pick Pico.
Oh, well, what about like jaunt down Jefferson?
Jaunt.
Yeah, right? It doesn't that mean solitary?
Yes, it does. Jefferson Jaunt.
Yeah, I like that.
Right, so you know, but would the council office be willing to fund something like that? Because again, we were doing that when our budget was 40,000.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, I mean,
It's
it's
not
not gonna
very-
be in their $25,000 budget. Okay, so these are good ideas.
I can send you a picture of my chicken scratch hunter if you weren't taking those.
No, I have the 5 things,
Oh, okay.
not like specifics
Well,
beyond that.
there's an AI transcript happening.
Oh, okay.
And for the
Also that.
background, okay, and then petition for a sound wall along the Expo train line, huh?
Oh, yeah, so I mean, this was just a request that came in from a stakeholder who just emailed about installing sound walls along Exposition because the train has been making noise, and I guess it's been disrupting the neighborhood. That just came in a couple days ago, I didn't respond, I wasn't sure if anyone else did, or if there was.
I
anything
didn't
that
see
we-
that one actually, cause you said it went to info,
Yeah,
so I don't get info, in fact, that's a question. Did you get my little test email that said? Hi, who gets this email? Cause it was sent last night, we sent a test email to
can you is to info?
info@UNNC.org.
Well, I get emails from the info at UNNC, but maybe I missed that one. Let me see.
Oh, then the reason I'm asking is because that would be the email we wanna use. For RSVPs, maybe for the workshop emergency.
Oh, yeah, that should be fine.
Well, if not, if you're not getting them routinely. I mean, not fine. I mean, you know,
Okay, yeah, I think it went in, I think your email went into my spam, but I usually do get them. I'm sort of
Okay.
verifying that this email goes to you. It did
That
go to my
is-
spam. Yeah, but I usually do get
okay,
info. Maybe it was just because it was called like
But
text
is
or
it-
something.
but is it, I'm sorry, does it go to the president Gmail?
I have it forwarded to send to mine.
Oh, so it's not, so I didn't miss it, that's what I'm saying. It didn't go into the Gmail that I look at.
Probably not. I just have it so anything info gets forwarded to.
Perfect. Okay. So,
So I don't really have anything on the summer, but I like. I'm happy to respond to him if we.
well,
know
why don't you respond to him and say, what's your more complete idea? Because I'm trying to visualize Exposition near us,
Yeah,
and
I
it's a
know.
fully landscaped. I mean, where would you put a sound wall?
Do you have like a resource I could send him to? Cause I don't think we're the right resource.
Well, that's not even, it's not that we're right or wrong, it's just that our area, our section is a landscaped with trees section.
Yeah,
So where would you erect a sound wall?
but like,
Because I don't wanna kill the trees.
right, but like instead of me emailing him and saying like, hey, our section is covered.
No, ask him what his exact proposal is, not what is the petition.
All his email said is, I'm interested in the city installing sound walls for Expo to block noise. How would I go about that? I don't think that's
Oh.
what,
Okay.
I think he's reaching out to us for help. And I would like to offer him.
Well, you don't have a transportation. committee.
You're right.
Like, remember, I keep asking for somebody to volunteer to chair mobility and transportation. That has,
Yeah,
His passions, transportation.
I've got a lot of people who wanna be on the committee. It's my passion not to chair any more things personally.
um,
So, I guess it would be like. Send me. To,
So
you know,
planning and zoning committee,
well, send it to me, but say, tell them that the planning. And agenda for discussion. But it's not, just say it's not really the right place, we don't think.
or that I position him to the people who have been coming to talk to us every couple months about the bike lane that's being built along Pico and Venice. That doesn't seem like a. correct
That's
research.
LADOT, yeah, no, because Expo is owned by Metro, not, it's but I don't know for sure if he's. Even within our footprint,
I don't think that, yeah,
but I do know that a lot of effort was. Gone into get state funds 20 years ago. To landscape. So Selma is the exact opposite of that.
yeah.
So, you know, I don't know that we would want to go ungreen, but I don't know where he lives.
I'm gonna,
Probably in that corridor where Expo Walk, the townhomes are
Yeah, it might be,
right next to.
right, but of interest, the people who built that. Did that, understood exactly what they were doing, meaning the developer.
Gotcha.
You know, their company in Orange County that builds next to trains. That's
Oh,
their
everything.
thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's their thing. Yeah, they like finding properties next to trains.
So if he is in that development, then I. Don't know what to say. Okay, not approving any letters tonight. Approve agenda items for May 2026 governing board meeting. So I will say we have a bit of a conundrum. Steve Peckman has made a request that I place on both the planning and zoning committee and governing board. Like, at the moment I had to tell him no, but the Hidden History Museum again,
Oh,
But that's the,
there's just one question about that.
yeah, the neighbors who have complaints about them. Have been meeting among themselves, but not with the Hidden History Museum, then met with a council office deputy. They have a list of. I haven't seen it. They've come to an agreement about a list of conditions they want to impose. But they haven't presented them to the. CD10 apparently in their meeting said, if UNNC agrees with your list, then we will ask the zoning administrator to impose them. Our problem is that we already voted,
and we voted a long time ago.
I was like,
Well, it doesn't matter when it was, as long as it was more than a month, more than the prior meeting. We have both in our bylaws and it's also state law that a reconsideration can only happen if a person who was on the prevailing side essentially changes their mind, petitions the secretary to add to the agenda a vote to reconsider either at the same meeting that the vote was happened or at the very next meeting. So this is lapsed. And we did this vote in February of 2025. I mean, it's long since elapsed. And not only that, I said to Steve, you know, if the applicant agrees to your conditions and changes his application, but then you don't need us, I mean, that might constitute a new case.
Sure, yeah,
You know, but then if the applicant agrees to it, you don't need us anyway, because the applicant just agreed.
yeah,
But I don't see any real way legally to do this, nor am I comfortable if they haven't because the way we left it with them the last time they came to us a couple months ago was we rewrote our letter, remember? The letter said, here's what we voted, but here's a list of concerns that the community has addressed. I wrote a very long letter. When I use the word I mean Steve and Colleen pretty much wrote the letter and I just edited it, so the same people. And we voted that was okay to move forward.
right,
And beyond that, they're not meeting with the applicant, so I don't understand why they're not meeting with the applicant. But anyway, I have a conundrum. They've requested, I said no. I just wanted to let everyone know that I said no, because we.
Already voted, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's just a technicality. If it's a new application, then it's a yes. I mean, we would, I mean, that's the thing. That's the reason why I often tell applicants, I'm not taking whatever X is. I'm not taking the conditional use permit for the charter school STEM prep to the board, even though we've already heard it at the planning and zoning committee. This is, plan approval number 4, until we get word from the planning department that they're not gonna ask for any alterations in the request, because they're asking to add more student. I mean, in other words, because that's what the danger of taking it too early. That something's changed and you have to vote again, and you can't vote again for reconsideration. So that's not on the agenda, is what I'm trying to say. Anything else that needs to be on the agenda, we'll vote on this NPG. We'll not have to do anything about the ADA. We may have to have an item for insurance for the workshop. Is there anything else that you guys,
For May.
May board? And you won't be there.
I'll be in there.
Is there,
It's like, oh, maybe I'll come.
is there
Yes.
is there somewhere I can read about what the green master plan is and what the projects are, other than the few that you've mentioned?
Well, we don't.
Is that
Those
still in
are.
progress?
Yeah, we're
Or-
still like in the development of hours
Okay.
for UNNC. We've been bringing a large board around to events and having people put like stickers on problem areas. So that's kind of where we're at with Caesar taking the charge, but he's supposed to digitize all of that, and we should
Well,
have
he-
something
that
to look
was
at
some
relatively soon.
Okay.
Yeah, that some, isn't that, you knew that, because she was the person he's gonna work with on the GIS.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yes.
I just don't think he's gotten to that process.
Oh, no, because we haven't even haven't made it north of the freeway yet. But the green app. It's like really far south of the freeway, and the freeway itself, if you look at the map now, got filled in by people who want to do a freeway cap.
Yeah,
So that's interesting.
that would be awesome. I
It
don't think
would-
that's gonna happen, but that would be really cool.
Awesome, but it's not happening with current administration, that's for sure. But the green alley, the reason we're trying to move that forward is because it's already been approved by Metro as part of the first mile, last mile. It was voted an approval in 2021, and then it's just been sitting around. So that one we kind of identified as, let's get going. To at least say, to the council member, can we go? And we voted on it at the last meeting. Right? I'm losing track, but I think we voted on it at the
Mhm.
March meeting. Maybe we voted on it in March and not April. I don't remember. It's all,
It's okay.
my brain is gone. That's all I can say. But the reason it's prioritized is because the project that Metro voted on, the visuals are done, the concept drawings are done. I mean, just concept, but it was also priced out.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the prices won't be the same 5 years later, but I mean, in other words, there's dollars, there's a description, there's a concept drawing. And that's where the kind of thing you can start moving forward on, unlike all these other ideas that everybody has. Okay. So nothing else that we know of at this moment in time for the board. Okay, any old business, new business? Oh, yes, review of tree planting event. On 21st Street in Western Heights.
Oh, how'd it go?
It went well. I again sat for the second tree planting in a row. They were done hours early. I think that they overestimate how long it takes to plant a tree with all the volunteers that come out.
Yeah.
We had tacos that everybody was eating at 11:30 because everyone was done well before noon.
Anyway. Good time.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was not a huge community event, it was,
Yeah, it wasn't that,
Immediate-
like people literally, the person I dug a tree, I did a tree with, just came out of his house from across the street and said, I saw you guys were planting a tree outside my house, so I decided to come and help out.
Oh,
So, I think that's great.
and they gave away trees.
Okay.
And they had some left over that didn't get given away,
Oh, okay.
and.
What kind of tree?
Fruit trees and maybe some regular trees, but like olive trees, apple trees,
I was-
apricots.
Okay.
And then they had trees, not shade trees. And, yeah,
Yeah, it was nice.
so, I mean, it'd be nice to have more events like that. I mean, both of our tree planting events were basically part of other people's grants.
Hmm.
So, the one at the Sixth Avenue School was Bee Leaf, which was Department of Sanitation. And this was a grant, this one on 21st Street was part of a grant that basically was for schools near freeways.
Mhm.
I know 21st Street is
Yeah.
not a school, but it was an extension of a tree planting effort along Gramercy by the Whitney High School near the freeway.
The speaker had mentioned something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so I applaud Teresa for finding these arcane
Great.
programs to do it. And that's where that project came from. And I'm also really glad that project came because UNNC had paid to remove the prior trees which had not thrived. And back in our wealthier days, we had monies that have been elapsed, set aside to plant trees, but the monies are gone.
Mhm.
To replace the trees that were pulled out of the ground. But those monies are gone. All right, anything else? We are done. Okay, you done?
Oh, yes.
We are done.
We are
Okay,
done.
so.
But I'm like,
we're
we're
gonna
not
adjourn.
done.